Welcome to Dirty Fanatics.
Hey, Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, DFU is with you live on a Friday night, bringing you the breakdown of our 53-man roster. I am your host, C-Money, followed by my co-host, Philip, a.k.a. Evitz, and my guy, Cody Keeler, is here to talk Falcon football tonight. Falcon fans, tap that like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are on the road to 1K and cannot do it without you. Philip, what's going on, man? Glad to have you and Cody here tonight to talk some Falcon football and break down this 53-man roster. As we all know, tomorrow them dogs play, baby. Philip, what's going on?
Not much. Just blessed to be here, dogs. It's payday, so it's always a great day.
Payday is always a good day.
We got a long weekend ahead of us. I do got to work tomorrow, but only for 4 hours. So we got like pretty much a 3-day weekend. So I'm blessed to see that.
Yes, sir. So, real quick before we get the podcast started, I want to give all our shout outs to every veteran that watches the show, anybody that served the military, the Army, the Navy, whatever it may be. Salute to you guys and thank you for your service. Cody, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here tonight. It's been a minute since DFU has went live, and we are here tonight, hot and rowdy, ready to talk some Falcon football.
Yes, sir, man. It's definitely good to be back talking Dirty Bird football. It's been, since preseason game 2, I think, man. Let's say. Yep. But holy cow, this month blown by, boys. I would say it felt like we had just got into it, and, man, we're already right out of it. But you know what that means? Football's here.
It's here, baby.
I'm so ready. Tomorrow it starts. All the my mood being depicted on how Georgia and the Atlanta Falcons are this year, and my moods and blood pressure gets to go starting tomorrow, boys. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You'll be good. It's just an easy day tomorrow.
Marshall versus them dogs. So can't wait to see what happens with that. Real quick before we dive into the Atlanta Falcon talk, if you're new to StreamYard looking to level up, check out StreamYard. Use this link here to get a $10 discount, courtesy of DFU, man. Hit that link and start your own podcast, man. There it is. There's a link. Philip, Cody, we have an official 53-man roster. Before we dive deep into that 53-man roster, let's just talk about maybe some surprises that the Atlanta Falcons maybe shocked the world with, shocked the Falcons fan base with. And I'll start with at the release, where the Falcons released players and who were waived and so on and so forth. A guy that I did not see being released was C.J. Henderson, the cornerback that we signed in the preseason, made some noise in those couple of preseason games. Another one that was waived, Simone Barrow Jr., the defensive lineman that had the second highest pressure rate in the NFL through preseason. Philip, is there any guy on this waive/release list that maybe stood out to you that was like, hey, I thought this cat was going to be a for sure Atlanta Falcon starting week 1?
I wouldn't say necessarily starting week 1, but
not really starting, but being sidelined, dressed out.
100%. I love my wide receivers. I watch them close. I'm there. Like, that's my favorite position.
Yep.
One that really hurt my heart not seeing on this team was Chris Blair. Watching my man out here carry 2 preseason games, looking like a prime Julio on this preseason. Like, he was balling. I mean, I get why we have a stacked little room, and I'm thankful for that. But it just sucks to see him not be able to make that team.
Speaking on the
because of that,
Well, speaking on the receiver, while we're here and released and waived, our draft selection, Nick Nash, was waived to the practice squad. Did not get picked up by anybody else, so that was a blessing. So Nick Nash, Philip. He was undrafted. He was an undrafted pick. But Nick Nash, a guy that made some noise that last preseason game, like really carried Easton Stick in that. Philip, going back to Chris Blair, I think something that really hurt Chris Blair was that preseason game, the third one, where he had the walk-in touchdown. and it kind of bounced right off his hands, and you could see it all over him. He was like, that was easy. He would have had a touchdown in every single preseason game if he made that touchdown. So I think that signified for sure Chris Blair would have been a player or for the Atlanta Falcons and made that 53 if he would have made that touchdown pass. And I could be wrong, Philip. It could be on along the aspect of what you stated. The receiver room is very deep. You have now Casey Washington. You have Drake London, Ray McLeod, newly returned to practice, Darnell Mooney. So, guys, this receiver room is very deep. Cody, bouncing to you on this 53-man roster list, was there any surprises when it came to who the Falcons released or maybe waived to the practice squad?
I was honestly kind of surprised to see Kobe Bryant not make the – well, I guess not necessarily not make the team.
And Mike Ford did.
Yeah, and that Mike Ford did. I was kind of surprised there. You know, Kobe Bryant the coaches seemed to be real high on him. The fans loved him. So I was a little surprised to see him not make it. But I think the biggest one that shocked me was Street.
Contavious Street.
Contavious Street not making it, especially with that that defensive line. Kind of like, you know, we lose Grady, and we kind of are looking for that big body run stopping guy, and I thought, you know, maybe you're leaning on David Onyemata and Contavious Street there kind of to be those guys, because guys, honestly, to me, Rook, and I know it was, or excuse me, not Rook, AK, you know, was really kind of bland for me this preseason. And again, it's preseason, you know, he's got plenty of time to get adjusted, stuff like that, but you know, for that defensive line to lose a guy like Grady, and then, you know, because we brought Street in, and so I really thought that, you know, maybe they're, you know, we're basing that, hey, we're going to have Street here. We got David Onyemata here. So that's the only thing that I'm a little worried about this season is our run defense and that defensive line.
So, Cody, you bring up a really good topic, and that's a really great topic to start to show on, because when you look at the D-line depth that the Falcons have this year, that's been a thing that the Falcons haven't had in numerous of years. Now you have the new DC and Jeff Ulbrich. You see players like Brandon Delores now making noise in preseason games, a guy that was unheard of in the Jimmy Lake scheme. You talk about Braylon Trice now. He is on the 4-day injury reserve. Not an injury, but Raheem wants to make sure he's 100% before the season starts. You got that edge guy now with Braylon Trice. You have the rotation with Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Then you look at your D linemen, like you said. You have Brandon Delores, you have Rook Ohurohu, now you have David Onyemata as well. I'm not sure where Lakel London ended up, but I don't see him on the practice squad. So now you go into the season with a guy like the guy you just mentioned. Where does his name go? Right,
and you have Taquan Graham.
Taquan Graham also on an injury list as well, though. So it's like,
forgot about that.
So it's like, what, you know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly where Cody's coming from about Condavious Street, because this is a guy that was released, wasn't even picked up on the practice squad. So, I don't know, man. Maybe just.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that, you know, Street seemed like he had gotten bigger, man. Like it kind of seemed like that it seemed like the Falcons kind of asked him to get bigger in that role of, you know, where Grady Jarrett, you know, was the guy that, you know, you just didn't run on. And it seemed like Street had put on the weight and the mass to, you know, maybe, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, to be Grady Jarrett, but maybe to kind of fill in those shoes a little bit.
Cody, you remember that game where Condavious Street filled in for Grady Jarrett?
Yes.
Those few games, and he did very well in the run game. A guy we selected or grabbed from the Eagles. Made a big impact that year. You know, I was rooting for him. We all were, because Condavious Street really came in and filled some big shoes when it came to the run game of Grady Jarrett. Shout out to my guy Robert Stevens in the chat with us. Says, good evening, my brother. Sorry I couldn't make it tonight. They're running me to death at work. Robert, if you're at work and you're making money, brother, that's all. I mean, that's a good problem to have, brother. So shout out to you, Robert. We understand totally why you couldn't make it. Another awesome co-host here at DFU. Shout out to Robert, man. Diehard Falcon fans in the group chat right here. Falcon fans, we are talking Falcon football, episode 158. So another guy I wanted to speak on that, you know, that D-line area that we talked about there was the Simone Barrow Jr., the guy that ranked number 2 in the PFF grades of the most pressure rates through preseason. A guy that you waived. He is now officially on that practice squad, I guess you could say. But how do you feel about that, Philip? Simone Barrow Jr., you know, we talk about the depth of the D-line. You release a guy like that had those numbers, those PFF grades around him through preseason. Philip, your thoughts on Barrow Jr. not making the squad?
That was a tough one too, not seeing, because like it makes you wonder, like, what are they really seeing into this preseason? Like, these guys are really putting on a show, but like, is it in their, like, is it enough for them? Like, what is the point if, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand like what they're grading on this, like on these games, or how they're grading it, or like how they're looking into it, because a lot of them go out there and put on a show really, and then end up at the end of the day not making the full roster squad, you know, and it's just like, it's kind of tough because you don't understand.
Terry Fontenot and Tori McElhaney, shout out to Tori. They did a podcast together just today or yesterday. I watched it today, as a matter of fact, where Tori talks to Terry, and she's like, Terry, this has been the hardest 53-man roster that I've ever tried to predict since I've been, you know, an analyst for the Atlanta Falcons. And he was like, so Tori, what do you project your guys off of? Like, how do you study your guys? And she was like, strictly film, like who can fill it, who can fill a spot, who can come in, who can play if we need them day one. And she was just stating how there was so much competition out there, and there was so many, you know, not so many injuries, but there was a lot of injuries that players were fighting through to make this roster. Like, I mean, you look at Kobe Bryant, for instance. The guy came in, had a small injury at the beginning of the camp, but then still made a name for himself. Initially didn't make the 53-man roster. He is a practice squad guy. Shout out to Kobe. He goes on Twitter right after and says, the Falcons messed up. My time's coming. Kobe Bryant wants to be an Atlanta Falcon and knows he can be a starter in the NFL. And I love to see it. Kobe Bryant, go get it, dog, because there's going to be a time where somebody goes down. And can Kobe Bryant fill those shoes? That's the question. Can Kobe Bryant step up off the practice squad and walk the talk that Kobe Bryant has talked all offseason? So I'm excited to see it. He was the Pac-12 leader in interceptions. So we know what Kobe Bryant can do. He was with Kansas. I would say, flipping the switch a little bit, something that was very surprising to me, not so very surprising, but okay, flip the switch. Something that's not very surprising. The guy, Lamar Jackson, he was terrible from the start. Can we agree on that? Like, that was a bad pickup. We did release him as well. But the real shocker to me, flipping to the 53-man roster now, the real shocker to me is David Seals, the fifth, made the roster before Nick Nash or Chris Blair. Philip, your thoughts on that?
I ain't gonna lie, me and Pops had a long conversation about this. He called it from the start. He said Seals is gonna make the team.
He had the hands. He had the catches.
He's seen the hands at training camp. He's seen it in the games. Hey, Pops called it, man. All day, all night, doesn't matter. And it honestly, I was like, okay, you know, I see. And now when I go back and I rewatch these games, or like,
David Seals is also that other big body receiver that you don't have other than Drake London.
That's another thing that we also talked about, is that big body that you can just throw it up. He's gonna go get that thing. Like, it's just rewatching clips and highlights from each preseason game. He actually earned his spot. You know, these other guys could have earned their spot as well, and I feel like they do deserve to be on the team. But at the same time, you gotta beat. There's just these levels that you have to beat, and it just seems like they're not quite there yet, but they eventually will be.
Shout out to moms in the chat where she says, happy Friday, ready for some Falcon football. Rise up. We are one Sunday away from the Atlanta Falcons taking the field in Atlanta, man. I'm about to say Flowery Branch. Training camp's over with, Cravey. It's the season, man. It's football, man. We got 1 week till the Dirtbirds take the field, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait, and I hope we punch Tampa Bay right in the mouth. Shout out to all the NFL analysts that picked Tampa Bay over at the Falcons for week 1. I hope every player seen that. I hope Michael Penix seen that. Just feed the fuel to the fire, baby, because we're coming. We're coming. This is the year. Cody, I want to ask you before we get off of the release list, a guy that was a international pathway player, did not hold a roster spot, wouldn't have counted as a roster spot. Lenny Craig, the guy that Koo has been training with all offseason, really friendly battle there between Koo and Lenny Craig, both making each other better at what they do. Cody, we talked a little bit in the chat about the potential worriness of maybe Koo falling into the old ways of last year. He did miss an easy preseason field goal. You're not 100% going to make every kick. Let's just say that. You're not going to 100% make every kick. We're all human. We have critical errors. Cody, were you surprised at the fact that the Falcons, initially released Lenny Craig? He didn't get picked up, so he is now on the practice squad. Cody, your thoughts on Lenny Craig, a guy that we actually paid more money for to get in Atlanta because other teams wanted him. Cody, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, it's good. I would say, you and I talked about it a little bit. Chase was, I was kind of worried after that last preseason, that bad miss that Koo had, and I was kind of going, man, I really hope that Coach Raw running him out there hurt and him missing, the field goals really didn't screw with him psychologically. Because, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to field goals, like, yeah, it takes some talent, but man, a lot of that is all in between your ears. But to me, the thing is I'm glad that Lenny Craig is on this squad in case something does happen to Koo. Whether he's still working out the mental side of it, or even maybe the injury side of it. Maybe something's still nagging him a little bit. I always knew Koo was gonna be there. I think Coach Raw has a ton of faith in Younghoe Koo, and that's shown that. It never hurts to have friendly competition, guys. It never does. I think that was good. But thank God we just don't have to worry about Patterson coming in and kicking field goals. Now, I would say at least we have a viable backup or a better option. So I'm glad he's here in Atlanta. I'm glad he's going to be here to, I honestly think that it's –
Well, Cody, what shocked me was that – obviously, we can go and say, hey, we want to bring Lenny Craig up off of the practice squad. We can always go and say that. But what really struck me is, what if? I mean, knock on wood, what if Koo went out there week 1 and did get hurt? And now you don't have Lenny Craig on that 53-man roster. Now you have to wait till next week to bring this guy off the practice squad.
Well, and I think that kind of shows growth on Coach Ross' part that, man, hey, you ran out Kirk Cousins hurt, and look at what that took, took your – what were we 6-3?
NFC South took it away completely. Yeah,
took it away.
That was
and then running Younghoe Koo out there hurt didn't help either. Man, I'm not going to say that the Koo thing was bigger than the Kirk thing because your quarterback injuries are always going to outweigh your kicker injury problems. But I mean, it came down. I mean, let's be honest though. We beat Washington, we're probably in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
And it came down to that.
Definitely in the playoffs.
So it's
Carolina wasn't seeing us that last week. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And so I think it's good that we've got that guy that can push Koo. Hey, I've got somebody right behind me that can come in and show that he can kick field goals.
Yes, sir.
I mean, just absolute boot through. So, but I'm glad he's here. I still have faith in Younghoe Koo until he proves me wrong. I'm not gonna give up on him on one bad season because he's won us too many important games before I'm like, get out. But. We're talking about riding that line, man. I would say you gotta go out there and do your job, Koo. You gotta go do your job.
When I see Koo, Koo, how we chant Koo, I see confidence in him. I need to see the confidence in you every single moment. Like he went out there that first Saints game of last year, went out there, kicked that bitch,
and then walked off like it wasn't shit.
Went off and walks off like you that guy.
Yeah.
I need that every single kick.
Because Koo's still that guy.
You can do it if you're that damn confident.
Well, man. Well, and yeah, we'll definitely need that swagger. Remember when he kicks the one against Tampa Bay and he throws his helmet 15 yards down and it's like it was nothing. Like it's like, I do this, I do this every day.
Earlier that
take the broom out and sweep because Buccaneers, it starts week 1, baby. We coming for you. Mactown Dirty in the chat would have said, "What's up, fellas? Mactown, what's going on, brother? Glad to have you here tonight in the podcast." Loud drop. Freddie the Falcon just fell off the desk. Shout out to Freddie the Falcon. Mactown Dirty, man, glad to have you here tonight, brother. Falcon fans, if you're watching the live podcast, give me a comment. Let me know what was your biggest surprise when it came to cuts / making the 53-man roster. Hit the comment section. Let me know. Get this podcast rolling. Philip, Cody, we're going to roll over to the reserve / injury list. We'll start with designated to return Taquan Graham, defensive lineman, and Storm Norton with the ankle surgery. Storm Norton will be out for a matter of time. Taquan Graham with another banged-up situation. It's make it or break it for Taquan Graham, guys. There's no more way around it. And Taquan Graham was looking really nice in camp. The couple of days that I went and watched, Taquan Graham looked very, very nice, very comfortable in the Jeff Ulbrich scheme. So that, there again, Cody, another guy that you could see on that D-line front when it comes to the run game, Taquan Graham. Also, we'll go over to the reserve now. Obviously, as we all know, this is our biggest hit of the season. Caleb McGarry will not return this year. Very, very big blow when it comes to that. I mean, obviously, every year something in that nature happens, probably to each team. But a position, a line, we talked all year, and so did Raheem and every reporter about how everybody on that line was back again. It was 3 years back with the same offensive line. Now we're in a position where our blind side is hurt. We've got to find a blind side blocker now. There's been reports that Matthew Bergeron played right tackle in college. That could potentially happen week 1. There's been reports that Elijah Wilkerson will be your starter week 1. There's been reports that the rookie that we drafted with our very last draft pick, Nelson, could potentially be in the starting run for week 1. Philip, Cody, let's talk about that here for a minute, because Jack Nelson did not make me happy in the preseason. Philip, Cody, your thoughts on, Caleb McGarry being out now for the whole entire season, and Jack Nelson potentially having the chance to battle with Elijah Wilkinson and Matthew Bergeron potentially at the right tackle. Now, don't forget, we did sign Jarrell from the Seahawks. He has always been kind of a depth piece. But Cody, you're the offensive lineman, so we'll start with you. How do you feel about filling a right tackle spot, a blindside spot for, technically Michael Penix's first year as a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, no. So, man, it absolutely sucks to lose Caleb McGarry, because that is one thing that I've always preached, being here on the podcast, man, it's that camaraderie that you have up there at the offensive line, knowing, hey, I know this guy's tendencies right here next to me. I know what my tackle does. I know what my guard does. I know how my center, it's just something that you can't replace.
Chemistry.
The chemistry is a huge deal for the offensive line. So it really sucks that we're losing that guy. And for all you guys that hate Caleb McGarry, I'm telling you right now, you're going to miss him week 1. Now, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. Don't get me wrong. I definitely want to see Wilkinson kind of in that area. Watched him a lot, listen to kind of what Mike Johnson, I love listening to Mike in the morning, because he gets deep in the weeds about the offensive line. That's my thing. Great hands, pause real quick. Great hands. He knows he's quick, pops, he's got his hands. And the other thing is, too, he's always looking. He never looks lost like the other guys have, like especially during the preseason. He'd hit his guy, get his guy. No, okay, I can pass him along to my guard. Next level. Let's go find the next guy. Okay, cool. The only thing that he's got great hands. Like I say, great hands. The only thing that this guy's got to work on, he's got to work on his feet a little bit. He's got to learn to keep his feet under him. He gets going and maybe, gets his feet going a little too much. Get your feet under you, get set, do your thing. He's going to be okay. I think he's not Caleb McGarry, but I think he is Caleb McGarry enough that we're going to be okay there. And then what helps also, guys, and this is something that Mike Johnson talks about a lot, is that, with the zone blocking scheme that we run, Freddie's okay?
He's okay. He's
okay,
safe.
Good. That's what matters. I'll say, but with the scheme that we run, it's something that offensive linemen can get very comfortable in, and very, it's a good scheme for any kind of offensive lineman. It's easy. There's the train horn, man. We're already scoring touchdowns.
We already in the end zone.
We're already scoring touchdowns.
Damn, man,
I love it.
That's 7 on the board.
Cody, when you talk about the scheme, that's to me when we was looking for a replacement of. There was rumors that came out that the Falcons were talking about trading for a guy. Obviously, we did with Mike Jarrell, the late 5th-round pick we gave away. But my biggest thing was, I think I was talking with a Falcon fan from work, and my biggest thing was, I told him, I was like, we can't go for the big name. We can't go for a guy that has fit in a scheme with another team. Just because that big name fits in that scheme doesn't mean that big name is fitting in what the Falcons have flowing on this offense side of the ball. So,
No, you're absolutely right. Like you say, big names doesn't always mean great fit. That's kind of the gimmicky thing with football. It's like, oh, I know that name, plug him in. That's not how it works. Now, the good news is the Atlanta Falcons run, that zone blocking, and so it's very offensive lineman friendly. Offensive linemen want to play in this scheme as far as blocking goes. The other good news is, guys, is we've got Michael Penix back there. Michael Penix can move. His athleticism is incredibly underrated. The kid's a baller, man. I would say I love Michael Penix. I think that's really going to help out that blind side tackle position. That's going to help Wilkinson, get comfortable, know, hey, I've got some room for error because, again, you've got the other guys that have been there. You've got, he's playing next to oh God, I drew a blank on his name. He's playing next to
Chase.
I can't remember who he's playing next to.
So you'll have obviously it'll be Chris Lindstrom. He'll be playing beside Chris Lindstrom.
Yeah, he'll be playing next to Chris. So I mean that's the good news too, man. You've got arguably for my money probably top 3 guard in the NFL.
Absolutely.
I mean he's going to be able to make mistakes. He'll have Chris to help him clean up stuff. But again, it comes down. Michael Penix can move guys. So we don't have Kirk Cousins sit back there. Kirk Cousins is sitting back there.
What stands out to me, I was watching a podcast. Shout out to Atlanta Bird Gang. They made a statement, and it really stood out to me out of the whole podcast that I watched. It really, it targeted me, and I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because they stated that Falcon fans do not be surprised if the Atlanta Falcons run the ball 80% week 1 to give Elijah a scheme to get into, to give Penix time to get flowing, to give Bijan, Tyler Algier. Now, I'm not saying we're not taking the top off because Penix is looking for that deep ball every play, it seemed like in training camp.
Yes.
But when it comes to the flow of the game, getting things started, getting that O-line in a rhythm, I think you start out with Bijan. I think you see a lot of Bijan and Tyler Algier. You'll see a lot of rotation there when it comes to starting the game. You beat them down. You beat them down. After halftime, you take the top off. So now let's not forget, this is our offense's first official game, first live game since last year. They didn't get preseason snaps. They didn't have that. They had obviously snaps in training camp. They went 1-on-1 with live reps against who was it? The Tennessee Titans. So they've had those live reps, but nobody has been hit. Nobody's been hit yet. So your guys' thoughts on that? Will the Atlanta Falcons offense be sluggish week 1?
Doubt it.
Why?
Right. Just doubt it. Man, they've been going head to head for, so many weeks in practice. This is I get it's practice, but at the same time, you're running 1-on-1. We heard it from the guy himself. He is not missing on game day. That's all you need to know. And all you hear is the name that he's been getting it to is Kyle Pitts. I'm telling you right now, I told you last week, number 8 is going to be a problem week 1. Who does he play?
He always is against the Bucs.
Every time he plays, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're not ready. They're not going to be ready. And they're going to need some luck, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, if you ain't got him on fantasy, you're damn stupid. Because
what really stood out to me today was when I sent you that video on TikTok of Kyle Pitts. Every top 5 play
against Tampa Bay.
Every top 5 play this year for the longest yards, other than one play, was Kyle Pitts. The one that had the top play was Darnell Mooney with his – he's fast. He's obviously going to get a 60-yarder. But Pitts had numerous 50-yard catches throughout the season that the fan base seemed to forget about. A lot of people thought Kyle Pitts still sucked it up this year. But if you go back and you watch some of these division games, you watch some of these games that mattered, Kyle Pitts answered in a very big way. So, Philip, you may be hitting on something there. Week 1, Kyle Pitts, the Michael Penix connection. Can they come out the gate with it? Is that what we start with? Or do we go run game? Cody, the question bounces over to you, though.
Man, this is always my big thing is nothing gets you ready like game time action, man. You can practice all you want, but until you get into that game time action,
and they coming.
And that's my thing, man. Is because like you said, to your point, nobody's been hit.
Facts.
Nobody, Michael Penix has not felt the pressure of, getting smashed, into the turf. Now,
Sheesh.
Yeah, they got into some scuffles. I'll say. Now he may be doing smash, but he ain't gotten smashed. Pause. But I knew it was coming as soon as it left my mouth. I was like, that's going to sound terrible. But I think
we love it.
I think I think you could take a lot of the pressure off because I mean, let's be honest, guys. We're a year removed from none of our starters playing in preseason. And look at how we look coming off the Steelers. Now, I don't think the Tampa Bay defense is Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Obviously, there is no T.J. Watt on the opposite side. I think we're catching Tampa Bay when they're kind of hurt too.
Very
not only on the offensive side but on the defensive side.
And not a recovering Kirk as well.
Right. And we've got a healthy quarterback. So yeah, I think we're probably going to see a lot of Bijan. I doubt we see about 80%. I think that'd be way too much. You don't want to start burning Bijan that early. Like, I mean, Bijan's an animal. Like, don't get me wrong. I think you could probably give Bijan the ball every snap of every game, and dude would still be all right. Don't do that. By no means am I saying is that a great game plan. Don't do that. But I think you're right. I think that's how you kind of have to start this one is ease them into it because, that's a good thing. Is again from an offensive lineman standpoint, run blocking is so much simpler because all you got to do is step back and here we go. You can be aggressive. You can move forward. As opposed to when you're pass blocking, it's you got to take that step back, stand. So, it gives Wilkinson, that opportunity. Hey, be aggressive, get comfortable, getting hands in your face, getting popped in the chest, wear down that Tampa Bay defense. And now you can start picking up speed again. You
see it year after year, and you started seeing it the last 3 to 4 games that Penix played. The run game opens up the play action. And if we can play action to the other side of Elijah Wilkinson, the Tampa Bay defense may be in trouble because Darnell Mooney is on the pace to be back week 1. Also, Kyle Pitts is healthy. Drake London is healthy right now. So, I mean, our offense is looking good. The only thing that you are missing from your offense is Caleb McGarry right now.
Yep.
That's the only injury prone that you have right now. So, yeah, definitely get right, McGarry. You did get the payday this year. So let's get right. Let's get that surgery done. Let's get in here next year and let's go to work because you're here for the next 2-3 years.
I ain't gonna talk shit for you, man. You took up for the QB during all them fights, so.
Yeah, McGarry's him. McGarry's him.
Oh yeah, you don't
gotta like you, bro. You took care of my quarterback.
Mactown Dirty in the chat with us says, guys, just imagine next year having money to work with, especially with the talent you have this year. How far could the Atlanta Falcons go? That's the big question, and that's going to continue to be the big question until the Falcons make the playoffs.
Yep.
Like, what can this team be like? And you've seen it now that you got a little bit of money. You were able to bring in Jesse Bates a couple years back. You're able to bring in these rookies that are, I mean, Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman both starting week 1. That is a key part of why Terry is still GM in Atlanta. Yes, there's times that I would like to just fucking strangle him, but then there's times that Terry really cooks. So I'm excited, MacTown. There's no telling what could happen. You just see what the Packers did this week with the Micah Parsons signing. Like, could next year, shout out to Rick because Rick stated it, could next year, is next year the year the Falcons buy all in? Like, is that when the Falcons just go crazy and go after a guy like Micah Parsons, that stature of a player?
Well, the first thing you got to do, I think, is you're the Falcons. You've got to find a way to extend Jesse Bates because who was it out of – man, there was a safety that just got paid like 88.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I think he played for Cincinnati. I don't care. I say he doesn't play for
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton
from the Ravens.
You're going to have to find a way to pay Jesse Bates now because I think Jesse Bates is a better player.
He deserves it.
If he's, so he definitely deserves it. But Terry, if you can find a way to get it done this year, dude, get it done. 2
things you'll see probably happen this year that is going to free up cap space is the Drake London extension. Now, obviously, the Jesse Bates extension that's coming up very soon. And you have to start looking at, what is it, Tyler Algiers' 4th year, right?
Yep.
So that's coming up as well.
Well,
so
and then Kirk's money starts to come off.
Gone. No more Kirk money.
Looking right.
I was Kirk, but hey, once your money gone, hell, I don't care.
Well, you see the release of Easton Stick now. The Falcons are content with riding with Kirk as a backup, and I'm cool with it.
And as a coach, as a GM, both of you together, working together, you're smart. Mm-hmm. After seeing them last 2 performances, my God. Buddy, I went to bed last week.
Yeah, the O-line depth is not very nice right now, guys. When it comes to run game especially, it was something we could not get started in preseason. Very rarely did you see a good break. We did have one breakthrough for a touchdown, but it's depth. It's depth.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that kind of surprised me with McGarry going down was I couldn't believe we kept 4 tight ends. Kyle Pitts, Warner, Felipe Franks, and
that name irks me.
The Quintorius or whatever.
Yes, I was a little shocked to see 4 tight ends on this. I
was shocked to see 84 still on the team.
I thought for sure Quintorius was going to be going. I knew they would probably keep Felipe Franks because of the special team guy he is.
Well, and I mean, if worse comes to worse, too, Felipe Franks could be your third string quarterback. He could. You're very right. I mean, you do have sticks, but Felipe. I mean, God, I really don't want to see.
No, they released. We released. I don't even think we signed.
He's a practice.
Stick is on the
practice squad. Yeah.
Okay, and Emory Jones is on our.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of fans were wondering why Easton Stick had been waived. I'm like, did you see the preseason 2 and preseason 3 performance?
I'm sorry.
Now he was running for his life. Like I will give him that. He was running for his life.
Real quick, man, let's hit on the Falcons uniform schedule. So obviously our primetime games week 6, week 15, and week 17 will all be in throwback uniforms. We only wear them 3 times this year. Somebody, who was it? I can't remember who it was. I think it was Drake London. He did a podcast and he was like, man, I've told him to make these our home jerseys. Like our throwbacks need to be our home jersey. Like he stated it. White top, week 2, week 3, week 7, week 9, week 10, 12, and 13. And our black tops, obviously our home games, week 1, week 4, week 8, week 11, week 14, week 16, and week 18. The Atlanta Falcons will wear home jerseys. Our last game of the season is at home against the Aints. Imagine that.
Speaking of jerseys, what do you guys think about the rivalry jerseys that they?
Those are so fire, dude.
We
don't get ours till next year, ain't it?
Yep. Either next year or the following year.
Some were fire, some were cringe looking, but
dude,
I would say Buffalo has the cleanest rivalry jersey like that.
Well, you know a jersey that I really rocked or I really liked, like it was really tough. The Color Rush. We wore them one time. We beat the Saints in them at the Benz.
We spanked that ass on Thursday Night Football.
No,
it was the Saints.
Yeah, it was the one where
Deion Jones.
Debo, we probably fixing to play him, but it's all right.
So let's look a little ahead of time and let's look at this Buccaneers and Falcon matchup next Sunday in the Benz. Cody, you're there. Philip, you're probably there. I will not be there due to surgery. What is the biggest thing, Cody, that you are looking forward to? And maybe a shocker that the Atlanta Falcons wouldn't expect week 1. Philip, same with you.
I'll say so. My biggest thing that I'm looking for is, I guess, a quick start from our offense, man. Say this will be the first time that our starting offense is going to take, meaningful snaps in what feels like it has been almost a year. It's roughly 8-9 months, since they've, been on the football field to take meaningful snaps. So definitely the first thing I'm looking for is that cohesion and having language down and having good communication and everything clicking on all. So the other thing, I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm trying to think of the guy who gave us a big shout, Riddick. I think the guy was going to be our G.
The guy.
Did y'all see where he said that he predicts that James Pierce Jr. is going to lead the NFL in sacks?
I've seen that.
I can only hope. I'm pulling big for Jalen Walker, but if James Pierce Jr. comes in here and, with his hair on fire. So I think what I want to see quick start from the offense. I want to see James Pierce Jr. in the backfield. I want to see him in the backfield with Baker Mayfield on his ass at least 3 times.
Absolutely. Philip,
like this.
Yep.
Philip, your maybe hot take or expectations for week 1?
Sacks galore.
I got my guy Billy Bowman walking away with an interception.
Yeah, man, stay off my boy Billy. That's Billy Bow, bro.
I got Billy walking away with an interception, and I got Xavier Watts. And, maybe you see a little bit of Helms rotated in there because Helms made a statement preseason week 1. Hitman made a statement. While we're talking about the schedule, it's kind of got the shit end of a stick here when it comes to the first 5 weeks. your first game is home, but then your next 2 games are on the road, one in Minnesota, and then the second against the Carolina Panthers away.
So I'm happy about that. We get
the next home game is week 4.
We get to play Carolina early. It may not be raining. It's not going to be cold and slippery and wet in that sorry stadium that they play on some trash grass.
Yep.
True that.
So we may go in and just stomp ass. I love it. I love it. When you might see Bryce folded up, like you never know.
So another hot take for you, a really good hot take for you because of the production that he had against both games against the Buccaneers. Darnell Mooney shines week 1 against Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dark horse. Nobody's seen him coming.
Darnell Mooney coming back from the injury. Shout out to Darnell Mooney, man. It was like I was a bad charm at training camp. I'm talking about as soon as I got on the hill, guys. As soon as I got on the hill, I see the deep pass from Penix coming down to the end zone. I see Mooney coming down with the ball. He takes a hard hit to the ground. He lays there for a little while, and I see Drake London walk over to him and help him up, and they walk it off. I'm like, I look straight at my wife. I was like, ain't no way our first play was a fucking injury. Like, no way the first time I'm on the hill this year is an injury. So
when you got there, you heard nothing but and then just see the sign that says revive. That's all you see.
Yeah, pretty much. Man, so I'm rooting for Darnell Mooney, man. A guy that's been in the shadows a lot this year that hasn't got a lot of hype because of what we've had on the defense side of the ball. Nobody's talked about Ray McCloud. Could Ray McCloud be the dark horse week 1? Who knows what could happen? There's so many weapons when it comes to this offense side of the ball, man. It's crazy. And the same as the defense. Like, I heard out of John Abraham's mouth on the Waterboys podcast that the Atlanta Falcons should be a top 10 defense this year.
Yep.
And damn it, if that don't make you happy, I don't know what does, because the best one in the business to do it, number 55, John Abraham, spoke it, and it's going to happen. John Abraham also had some words about AK.
Yep.
He had some words to express about AK and said that he didn't see AK making that big role this year because of the limited snaps that he would get now, being that James Pierce Jr. is going to be such an impact. Philip, John Abraham said himself he is worried about James Pierce Jr. taking his all-sack leading record in Atlanta.
He's worried. He says he's worried we're gonna forget about him. I'm here to tell you, John.
We ain't gonna forget about
so many great things in Atlanta. You will never be forgotten, my guy. I promise you that. Like 55 is like when I hear the word like the number 55. That's all you all day. Like when I hear sack master in Atlanta, that's you all day. Like
he started it for sure.
We're not going anywhere from our memories, that's for sure. Especially not me. That's all. Growing up, that's
especially not Cody either. Cody wore 55 because of John Abraham.
Oh, that's exactly it. I was saying, me and John bonded. Well, I was saying I don't know about bonded, but I would say that's my dude right there.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Michael the Burner Turner, responding back to the kid on Twitter. Hopefully, we'll have something rolling with Turner here in the near future. To have Michael Turner on the podcast, man, that would be such a great gift of, Philip, that was our guy, dude. Like, we grew up in the living room in Chad Claxton Street watching Michael Turner, dog. Like, that was the guy. That was him. So, to have Michael Turner on the podcast.
Bro, name written everything. Like, man, this is my guy.
To have Michael Turner on the podcast, man.
Bijan and somewhat of Freeman a couple years. This is my guy, bro. Like, I send you clips all the time of Turner. He's a bad dude, bro. Like,
shout out to Sterling Woods in the comment section. Said last time we had that many rookies playing on the field, we made it to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. 2016, Keanu Neal, Deion Jones, David, what's his name? Campbell. What was Campbell's first name? I can't remember his first name. DeAndre Campbell. You had all these guys. You had these young cats. You had Collins on the safety. Poole. I mean, you had all these players, and it's like Arthur Blank said it the best. The other day, Arthur Blank was stating how, in his time of being an owner, he's won the most games when he has had players 27 years younger on that field, and this is the first year that you'll have that since 2016.
We have probably the youngest team, like one of the youngest teams right now. That's how crazy it is.
Shout out to Sterling Woods. Chat, if you're watching right now, man, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, because DFU will be bringing you breakdowns all season long from the game, at the game, and throughout the week, DFU will be talking Falcon football. Ring that bell so you know when we're live. Subscribe. It is free, people. It costs you $0 to hit that subscribe button, and it means the world to us cats over here at DFU. So hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. We love to talk to you guys. If you're watching right now, let me know what you are most excited about coming into week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Sunday in the Benz at 1 o'clock. What are you looking forward to in the comment section? Falcon fans, let me know. Let me know. We are rounding up on our 45-minute of the podcast, getting ready to shut this thing down. Cody, I want to come to you one more time about the defense side of the ball. When you look at linebackers this year, you talk about, Troy Anderson obviously still on the PUP list. Now you have Jalen Walker may play a little bit of a linebacker edge type deal, hybrid guy. You have Caden Ellis returning once again, the guy himself, Ellis. So, Cody, when you look at the linebacker position, when you look at J.D. Bertrand, second year now in Atlanta, how do you feel when it comes to the linebacker position? Or because at one point last year, that was our biggest struggle, was the linebacker spot. Like, we went down, we got hurt. Caden was the only linebacker we really had at the time. J.D. Bertrand with a concussion. You look at the depth now. Cody, how do you feel about that linebacker position? And did it get better or did it get worse?
No, it definitely got better, man. I would say I think Bertrand, if he could stay healthy, man, as long as you've got Caden Ellis back there, man, leading that linebacking core, and then with the addition of obviously Jalen Walker, I think you're looking.
And also, don't forget D'Angelo Malone now playing linebacker.
Malone, that's right. I was saying.
He's played a lot better at that position. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think too, what's going to be great is I think that Caden is not going to have as much
pressure
to do. Not so much necessarily, not too much to do, but they've kind of freed him up. With the Jalen Walker, if Bertrand can stay healthy, eventually getting Troy Anderson off that PUP list. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, to where you can allow Caden Ellis to go do what he does best, and that's go bit. Like I love. Caden's a great 55. Another great 55 that this Falcon team has got. The ability to bend and get around guys, man. I would say so. I'm feeling a lot more confident about our linebacker room, especially with Caden Ellis in there. Man, I'm so excited to see what him and I really want to see Jalen Walker get after the quarterback, but I want to see what he could do with Caden Ellis because, man, if there's one thing Jalen Walker could do,
that's your QB spy.
Yes,
people.
That's your spy, man. And if you can get Caden Ellis to go get that quarterback, and you've got Jalen Walker right on your ass too, quarterbacks are in trouble this year, man. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be my bold prediction for the season. Running quarterbacks for the Atlanta Falcons are no longer going to be a problem. Caden Ellis and Jalen Walker are going to hunt down and they are going to ball hawk those guys so bad. These Jaden Daniels, the Russell Wilsons, the guys, Dak Prescott's that like to roll out run. That shit stops with the Atlanta Falcons no more. Because if you do, Caden Ellis is popping you in. If Caden Ellis can't get to you, Jalen Walker damn sure will. I'm looking forward to that no longer being a problem.
That's the big question mark heading into week 1. Like, where do the Atlanta Falcons, where does Jeff Ulbrich line Jalen Walker up at? Because when it came to preseason, we only seen a very limited spot of him being with the groin injury and the hamstring, but he played a lot of edge when it came to preseason. Like, they wanted, and maybe that's because they want him to get better at that edge spot. Maybe that's what that is. They want to get him as many reps as possible.
The fact that he can also run both. You know what I'm
saying? Exactly, and that's why you drafted him. That's that hybrid guy
at this.
But a guy that we're forgetting about, that we didn't even talk about when we was talking about D-line, Zach Harrison. A guy that has moved in from the edge, that is a big body for the run game in the middle. So maybe that's why Kentavious Street didn't make it. Maybe the Falcons are really sold in on these young cats, and Jeff Ulbrich just brought the right scheme. Maybe that's what the Falcons were missing.
Well, if you remember, both Raheem and Ulbrich were both 2016 defensive coaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is why you got a good guy. This is why when you got rid of Jimmy Legs, bum ass, you got a guy that you worked so well with. And
not bum ass.
Yeah, he a bum.
God.
He guy you worked so well with that 2016 season, and boom, your ideas mesh. You're on point with your GM as well, your owner, everything. When everything's meshing, everything's gonna go perfect. Just
Shout out to Mactown Dirty Man bringing the comments and the questions to the podcast. I feel like Cody pretty much answered that for you there, Mactown. He just hit on it. I feel like, as Cody stated, you have a Caden Ellis, you have a Jalen Walker. You drafted that hybrid player for a reason. We've seen Jalen Walker at the edge position, but you did not see him at linebacker through preseason. Maybe that's what the Falcons have in plan for Jalen Walker. More of the Georgia scheme defense that he ran in his college career. Because, guys, number 11 in UGA was a motherfucking problem. And if you didn't know it, go back and watch tape because Jalen Walker was him when it came to college football, QB spies, picking up that slot receiver, picking up that tight end that we get beat by so freaking much throughout the year. Yep. Now you have a guy that can drop back in coverage. No shot at Caden Ellis because Caden Ellis was the only pressure rate we had the past few years. Now Caden Ellis can go get the quarterback and not have to worry about a tight end scorching us on the back end.
And that's what I'm saying. I would say, so, I think the reason that they had the reason that they had Jalen working that edge is because they're trying to refine him there. I think they really want him to be that true hybrid player. But again, like you said, we've seen what Jalen Walker did at UGA, and he was a problem for everybody he played. I can't think of a game where I didn't, I watched Georgia just about as well as I watched the Falcons, and I can't think of a game that I was like, oh man, where's number 11 at? Number 11 was around the ball at all times. Yes. Like
the rotation this team is going to have this year on defense is freaking crazy. Like I just sat here while you were talking, Cody, and thought about a couple of guys that could, from Sterling Wood's comment here, JPJ with that speed should help keep the quarterback in the pocket and have Billy blitzing in. So let's talk about that. JPJ's speed on the right side of the D-line. Let's not forget who the Falcons picked up this year. Leonard Floyd. You also drafted a guy in AK, the man himself, the sack master, as he called himself, the sack doctor.
And the other thing you can't forget is Diablo, man. There's been a lot about Diablo Divine, man, has looked really good. And they said that him and James Pierce Jr. mirror each other a lot. Mm-hmm. And if you can put those two on the opposite side,
that's a linebacker I forgot about.
Hayden, I mean, dude,
this line should be so fresh, bro. Like, you should have so many bodies you can rotate in. And don't forget, when Braylon Trice comes back, there's another edge that you're going to rotate on that D-line to keep JPJ fresh, to have Jalen Walker when you need to have Jalen Walker on the edge, to have a Zach Harrison that can play the edge but has bulked up to move to the inside. So you have so much rotation when it comes to this team, man. Backdown Dirty said it's time to start trusting our players and coaching schemes and stop playing so off the ball. That is very true because there were times last year the Falcons were 10 yards off the receiver. It was freaking pathetic. It made no sense at all, and I think that's got a lot to do with the Jimmy Lake scheme. You see Jeff Ulbricht now. You're going to see a lot of man because guess what? A.J. Terrell plays the best in man coverage, so I can't wait to see what happens with that. You also look to the other side of the field at our other cornerback. I'm drawing a blank right now. Mike Hughes. And then you have Clark Phillips. You got Clark Phillips the third behind Mike Hughes. I mean, you got all these players now that are Kobe Bryant. I mean, Kobe Bryant on the practice squad. That's another guy that's moving up.
He's there first.
Well, and the other thing too, Xavier Watts, man. Like, how confident did Raheem sound when he was talking about Xavier Watts? I think it was today, where he goes, he earned a spot to be next, to play opposite Jesse Bates
and
AJ Terrell. And it's just like, oh man, he must have made an impression because I don't, as much as I know there's coach speak and, there's blowing smoke at fans and stuff. The way Coach Ross said, he earned his spot. Yeah. Man, tells me that he's going to be exciting to watch too.
What's so crazy to me, Cody, is no knock at Xavier Watts, but the league, everybody in the league notice what DeMarco Hellams did preseason game week 1. And if Xavier Watts can outplay DeMarco Hellams, the ceiling is so high, dude. Like, you got a guy like Jesse Bates to the left side of you or to the right side of you on the football field, bro. Like, imagine, put yourself in Xavier Watts' shoes. Like, what better situation could you be in coming into the NFL as a rookie? Like, that's the best scenario for Xavier Watts. Right. You have an A.J. Terrell in front of you. You have a Jesse Bates directly beside you, bro. And then you got your young stud and Billy Bowman. Shout out to D. Alford, man. I love D. Alford, but he was not able to make the squad this year. Billy Bowman came in and took that spot. So
he just ain't starting.
Well, he ain't starting. You know what I meant. He ain't on the field week 1. I mean, he may be.
Also,
God forbid anybody gets injured.
Made that fake post about him, bro. You are really heartless, bro. Like that poor guy is out here working his hardest, and y'all out here.
D wants it, man. D Alford wants it, bro.
Y'all making hard jokes about this man's life, like his job, basically, man.
Philip, I'll never forget the game. I'll never forget the game when me and Phillips at the bins were in the club section. We look right at D. Alford. One of our cornerbacks just went down. We look right at D. Alford. We tell D, "Hey, Glow, it's time to go get him, dog." And he looks right at it, and he's like, "Hey."
Matter of fact, it was his rookie season.
Yeah, it was his first year with the Falcons. And he was like, "Hey, I got you, my boy." And he goes out there and shines. So it's like –
made a good day that day.
Anytime you have a player that interacts with the fans, rather the play on the field or whatever it may be, that player holds a specific spot, for me. So
me and Richie were linked in at one of them games, bro.
I like Richie Grant too. Richie Grant was a cool guy. Richie obviously now ways somewhere else, but Sterling Woods with the best comment of the chat tonight says Terry cooked in this draft. Now it depends on the coaching. That is 100% correct. And if the coaching can't figure it out, that'll be a conversation for later down the road. But I don't know. It's so hard to say because you can't continue swapping coaches. You can't continue changing the scheme. You have to let these players figure it out. You have to let these coaches figure it out. You gave Arthur Smith 4 years. You got to give Raheem time.
The difference between that, Arthur Smith was just stupid, bro. Like you could just see it. It wasn't clicking to him like what he wanted.
What's going on, April? Glad to have you here tonight, April. Hit that like button.
You seen no improvements of what Arthur Smith did. That was the problem, and that was why he's not here. That's just the difference.
Man, all I know is we're one Sunday away from Falcon football, Falcon fans. I can't wait for it. DFU. I can't
wait for y'all to see what I got planned, like what I'm planning on wearing that day, bro. Like I got a nice little fit ready for y'all, but we making posts.
Well, you went to the Party City and bought a pirate outfit?
Nah, bro.
Hey, man,
I did buy a flamethrower because when I get there, if I see a ship, I'm burning that shit down.
Golly,
do not flag us. Say, burn it down. Boom, we burning it down. There ain't nothing like that in my house. I promise you, dog.
Hey, man. It's going to be a fun time. For all my dog fans in the comment section, man, Bulldogs play tomorrow at 3:30. Can't wait to watch that. Football is officially back.
Right now, man. Shout out to the high school team.
Oh, and shout out to Miss Pam. She's a Georgia Tech supporter. Shout out Miss Pam. She was at the game earlier. Auntie Pam. Shout out to her.
But shout out.
Football's here, man.
Thank God. We 25-0 on a 5A team right now. So
25-0?
25 boys.
Okay, Pirates. I see you, Pirates. Let's go.
Nothing like it.
For those that don't know, the Pirates are our high school team, not another team. So Sterling Wood says, "I'm ready for MPJ to put 40 points on Tampa." Golly,
game
40 piece.
Hey,
could you imagine he breaks Kirk Cousins' passing record
against
Tampa Bay in Atlanta again?
I can't believe Kirk Cousins broke Matt Ryan's passing.
I can't.
That was crazy to me, man. Like
that was such a good game.
Part of me hated that he broke that record, and then part of me was like, "We're here, dude. Like this is the year."
If he didn't break that record, though, we lost that game. Let's be real.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shout out Kirk for that, though. We still rock with you a little bit.
Every time I say "Go dog,"
you know what the greatest thing about that is? I can tell you the happiest person in that building, though, that night, Matt Ryan,
Matty Ice, all day. Guys, we are rounding up on our hour podcast mark. The wife is blowing the phone up. So it is time to get ready to get up on off this thing. Philip, Cody, it has been a pleasure to have you guys here tonight. Talk Falcon football, something I needed personally to get my minds off of shit and just talk some Falcon football, man. So glad to have you guys here tonight. Glad to have everybody in the comment section. April Thomas, Sterling Woods, Mactown Dirty, Scrupp, all these guys that are in the Robert, all these people in the comment section, man. We thank you guys for being here and keeping this show rolling. Without you guys, we do not pull up on this podcast. So without you guys, man, this is nothing. Thank you to you guys. And thanks to my awesome co-hosts here, Philip, Cody, Robert, and Rick. Also, one more announcement before we get out of here. DFU is looking for one more podcast professional, I guess you could say. What we're looking for on a broader horizon is a film study guy or woman, whatever it may be. If you study film and you are a diehard Falcon fan and study Falcon breakdown film, DFU would love to have you on the podcast. So please message me, Philip, or Cody, Rick, or Robert on Facebook, and we'll be sure to get you in here for, I guess what you could say, an interview. Well, once again, man, shout out to MacTown, April, Sterling, everybody here. It's a good session. Shout out to you, MacTown, man. You made it happen with the questions. Shout out to you, brother. Cody, Philip, shout outs for tonight.
Man, shout out. First one, as always, shout out to the good Lord above, man. We here for another day. We got a 4-hour day tomorrow, so thankful for that. We're going to get through it, Shout out to the Pirates right now. We up 25-0. It's always good to see our high school team doing good, man. I always love it. Shout out to football being back. The Dogs play tomorrow. Probably won't watch it because it's probably going to be a snooze fest. I already know how it's going to go. Ass whooping. Anyway, shout out to football, being back for real. Like, we're a week away. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to book some tickets. If I don't, I'm going to be highly mad at myself, but I want to be there week 1. So we're going to plan for that this whole week. Other than that, man, I'm going to just stay patient, stay calm, collective. We're going to get through this next week. And as always, rise up. Hashtag
rise up. Cody, shout out for tonight, brother.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Like you said, Chase, it's good to come on and talk Dirty Bird football. Man, what a month. I'm so glad this month blew by, though, because like Philip said, football is back. Yes, so shout out to football, shout out to everybody, that comes on and watches us, faithfully and, liking, subscribing, sharing, all that stuff, man. We're on the road 1,000. Hopefully by the end of the year, we've got it. I think we can do it, boys. So shout out to y'all that make this possible. Like you said, Chase, without the people watching, man, there is no podcast. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to my wife watching out there. Man, I'm just so ready. Long 12-hour day for me tomorrow. Philip, you want to trade shifts? I was gonna say, but no, I would say I'm excited for excited for our dogs to get after it. I was gonna say, hopefully that's not too. I want it to be boring because I want the dogs to, obviously steamroll everybody to play just like the Birds. Man, it's gonna help that they're playing during work because I have a feeling it's gonna be real slow with college football being back. But so shout out to the Dogs. Definitely shout out to our Atlanta Falcons, man. I would say I cannot wait. Football is a hell of a drug, and we're finally about to get our fix, boys. We've got right at about a week to go, a week and a couple of days. So definitely excited that. Shout out to you, Chase, man. I know you get, you got surgery coming up and all that wonderful stuff. So definitely thoughts and prayers for you, man. I would say it's surgery, no matter how minor, major, whatever it's surgery, man. It sucks. So, definitely, thoughts to you, prayers for you, man. I say, you can bounce back. Hopefully we see you there week 1. Mercedes-Benz, we have to get DFU for the ass whooping that we're about to hand down to the Buccaneers. Start out, because, you damn sure know the Saints are a train wreck. They're losing. Carolina's trash.
Shout out. We beat the Buccaneers for giving us 2 easy wins this year. Starting quarterback. I love it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, so thank you for giving us Desmond Ridder.
Think about it, boys. I would say we beat the Buccaneers. I don't think Carolina and New Orleans are going to be much anything this year. I would say we could be week 1 already sitting in the driver's seat. Take care.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, guys, love talking Falcon football with y'all. I'm so excited. But other than that, guys, rise up.
Rise up, man. Once again, shout out to all you fellas that tune in tonight, all the women, the fellas that tune in. We appreciate you guys. We're at 591 tonight, man. If we can hit 600 tonight, that'd be crazy, you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Get us there. Shout out to my co-host, man. Shout out to the good man above, man. Definitely been going through some anxiety the past few weeks with this finding out about this scheduled surgery. Myself, I don't do good when it comes to doctors. So definitely would appreciate any prayers that you guys could give out. If you pray, keep C money in your prayers, dog, because we need it. We need it.
Be by your side while you having it. I'll hold your hand, brother.
Yeah, man. Surgery coming up Wednesday. Hope to make it to Atlanta. I highly doubt it's going to happen. Probably going to be very, very sore when I get out of the surgery. So thank you to everybody that has reached out and has shared a thought, a prayer, or anything with me, man. We appreciate you guys as always, man. It's your boys from DFU. We'll catch up with you guys again. Let's see, tonight's Friday. You can catch us Friday night with a Falcon versus Buccaneers, what you want to call it, pregame show. And then Sunday, my guy Philip, Cody, and Robert will all give you a daily vlog of week 1. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Cody. Shout out to Philip. Man, it's your boys from DFU. We up out of here. A-Town down. Rise up.